you say it was politically motivated, I would say it'd be politics with a small p, which is the politics of the street, because you can sing about unemployment. Unemployment affects everybody. Black, white, rich, poor, middle class, working class, you know. It's not unique to one group of people. Mugging is not unique to one group of people. You can, you know, an old lady getting mugged, whether she be black, white, Chinese, is out of order, right? No matter who's done the mugging, right? So I don't think it was a politically motivated or politically run. I think certain elements of it got hijacked by political factions of both the right and left, and used for their own ends and discarded when they finished with it, as you could see would happen in the first place. But unfortunately, you know, a lot of people got hurt and a lot of reputations got ruined because of that. But and the totally biased press didn't exactly help to play any of that down or to give it any justice or any reality or any truth, which but supposedly journalism is supposed to represent both sides of the story. But maybe they didn't like the other side of the story. Doesn't sell newspapers, does it? Skinhead helps old lady across road.
We did a thing for ITV called TVI, and this was the turning point, I think. They said that they wanted to do a thing about sort of, what was it, the crowd trouble, football and that, you know, and so they said to us, what we do is if you could invite a load of your mates into the bridge house, I got permission, I could tell him over to film with them, I mean, it was a Saturday afternoon or something.
Yeah, Saturday morning.
Yeah. So you got a load of young kids in there, school kids, they're being old mates, all sitting there having a jar up, you know what I mean, and they filmed
a couple of numbers.
So we went into an interview in the old pit, didn't we, like, with this bird.
Yeah, ring through a nose, you know what I mean, typical lefty.
What do you think about the politics of it all? I mean, do you find that the Nazi element went, whoa, scrub, no politics here, it's school children here, you know what I mean, everyone's having a laugh.
Try again,
Let's try again. She kept forcing it, no, she said, end of, we're not here to talk about that. So she changed the track and talked about the music and the sort of football.
Then got onto the track again, yeah.
Right, and we thought he had it all sewn up, and all of a sudden this thing screamed, this TVI. And they're patting him round like, you know, you see Stephen Betting.
Well, they said that we used our gigs as a recruitment for the British movement.
That was it. It said these people, and you won't pass these couple of kids on the glass of beer, or we're sort of doing it for jollies on stage, like a harsh recruitment ground for the British movement of far-right Nazi organisations. Like, what's going on? Libelled us right then and there. So we went to our good old manager, Tony Golden, and we said, "Sew the fucking pants up." I'm like, "Oh no, you don't take on ITV. Oh no, lots of money."
Man, should have showed them.
Should have sewed the pants up.
Because that was bang out of.
That probably contributed towards the old GLC ban. That was probably it.
No doubt.
But that Southwell thing, I mean, it was nothing. I mean, we lost a tour over that, do that Power and the Glory album. We was about to go on tour, about 15, 20 dates, and I had to pull the plug. We had that album coming out. There was, you know, with the promotion, there was HMV.
Yeah, that's right, the link up. Yeah,
like, you know, doing poster campaigns in the, and they all pulled that out because of that.
Yeah.
You know, so it was
all after Southwell, it went off right across the country.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you got top stuff and all that, didn't you? Like, you know what I mean?
Everything went.
Legs everywhere.
And we were sitting there thinking, what have you done?
Yeah.
You know, inadvertently, what have you done?
Because that killed us, it was like a dagger in the guts.
It was.
Like, you know, that.
So to say, I mean, Gary didn't realise what he was doing there. And I have to say it, and he must know that now. He must know that there was a big mistake. And that was the touch paper, like, you know, like stand fucking 20 yards away, bang, off it went. We got tarred with a brush we were never held in the first place. And more so than anyone else. I mean, all these young, like, bands were...
The business, and they got away with it.
Yeah,
we took the flak for that.
we took the flak for that because we were the figurehead. We was the biggest band there. And we got banged by the media, by everyone else, the councils. We got tarred with that brush when it was nothing to do with us. They could all creep by because they were sort of little bands. Yeah. And basically that's what happened. We never really got over that, I don't think. And to this day you rue it because it was nothing to do with us. Never, ever. And that fucking hurts. It does hurt.
In one of the Sunday papers, we was written down that we was the band playing when it happened. And I mean, we hadn't even been together for 3 years at that time. But it's all very negative, and it was a bit of a shock, really. Nobody expects that.
I really got a lot to say about it because, like, we was just a fucking band, you know, in the fucking venue, really. I mean, after we never really did any interviews with, like, press and stuff. Yeah, neutral
I mean-
world or anything.
You know, like, I never had any personal interviews or anything like that. I left that to Hodges and the gang, you know what I mean? I'm not interested in that fucking crap. All I wanted to do was get out there and play. You know what I mean? It's just unfortunate.
That put the kibosh and all that for us.
That
We couldn't
fucked
play
us,
anywhere
really.
after that.
You know what I mean? You know, that's right.
It was all secret gigs. I mean, like, basically the GLC done to the result the same as what they done to the Stranglers and the Pistols. We couldn't play anywhere, you know, anywhere.
It
Every
seemed to
gig
be
we
more
done.
reinforced with us, though. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? That was the thing.
In fact, it was only the Guardian newspaper that gave the other side of the story, what actually happened at Southall.
Yeah.
You know, they gave our side of the story.
I mean, we got there, we set up, we soundchecked, we played,
It was just a
and
gig
it went
to
off.
us.
You know, that's it. That's it.
You know, it's
You
just
know.
another gig. We played Hackney, we played Brixton, we played all over London. But, you know, it's just, I mean, I'd never even been to Southall.
The whole thing that happened that day, I mean, none of the bands wish now that we'd played there. But at the time, as regards the Foreskins, the last resort in the business, and I know I'm not speaking out of turn, is that as far as we were concerned, it was a show, and we were going to do a gig, and it's as simple as that. The big thing that sticks in my mind is the following day we was recording down the Old Kent Road, and we was recording Suburban Rebels for the Carry On Oi album, and the police came in and said, well, sorry boys, you got the blame. And we said, well, why? And they said, well, because you're skinheads. And I said, but did you see anybody roaming around in balaclavas? And we went, well, why? And they said, well, 'cause it was a totally political, hyped up riot. It was a big thing between the right wing and the left wing to actually, basically, the riot was organised. But the bands knew nothing about it. I mean, if the bands had known anything about that, they would never have gone there. As far as we're concerned, you know, Southall's a part of London. I mean, okay, there's a large Asian community there, but I mean, none of the bands would worry about something like that. You know, they just think, well, we're just going to do a show, we're just going to play in a pub and enjoy ourselves, and everybody goes home happy. But it turned into a riot, and it's nothing that anybody's proud of. And we wish it had never happened as regards to bands, because it destroyed Oi for a long time, and people have had to work so hard to go through that, you know, or to get out of that scene, you know, and that might be a scenario that you've never heard before from the other guys. I don't know, but that's it really. I mean, I was there, and it was a very frightening evening for all concerned. You know, the Asian community, the skinheads, the police. Nobody wanted that, and it was whooped up by ultra extreme parties from both sides of the fence, and there's no two ways about it.
You know, I mean, that was supposed to be the first day of a Poxy tour.
Yeah, we was
You
off
know
to
what I mean?
Manchester. We was going to
So
do
much
a
for the
14-day
Chaos tour of
yeah.
fucking 81.
beginning. There was no pressure on anyone. You just get up there, take your instruments up, do a set. We even supported ourselves once, you know what I mean? Put bags over our head, called ourselves Foreskins. However much Gal tries to present it as Foreskins would say, that's how it started. We supported ourselves with one of our roadies, H. And his first, mine thought, there's another one, you know, Foreskins. Got it, blinded, you know what I mean? Spokesman. And that's...
Is that true?
Yeah, that's the way it started, yeah.
Yeah, that's the way it started, yeah.
The Foreskins were...
For us, yeah.
Yeah. It was
Well,
on Blade
back
on
in
and
the
all,
days,
on your albums and it.
Yeah, on them all albums, we played all that stuff.
Yeah, the first one, right? And then they just went from there, didn't they?
Yeah,
like,
that's
you know?
it. He set up his own little thing, got his own little rock and roll gang, and on it went from there.
Oh, yeah.
In the aftermath of Southall, the bands were blacklisted. Albums and bands continued to appear, but the momentum had been damaged. Very few gigs, even less press coverage, and absolutely no airplay. Some bands, such as Screwdriver, came out of the closet to reveal that they were in fact ultra-right wing, and I was left to limp along for several years in the darkness. Sadly, by this point, many of the punters coming into the scene had believed the media and took a political stance. Bands become obsessed with bands' political views. Oi had fallen apart, the paradox of its potential. The band's hearts were there, but the fans were fighting themselves. Things ticked over slowly until the mid-80s when Laurie Pryor and Mark Brennan started Link Records and Roddy Marino started Oi Records. With a new outlet for the music, things looked like they could pick up, but in reality, it was pretty much past saving, with the kids hanging on bands' every words rather than trying to live their own lives.
we believed in at the time. Well, I mean, our values still ain't changed. Same people inside, haven't we, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we wrote about ordinary working class things. Ordinary people we knew about, people who'd gone away for things. Miscarriages of justice. No one else ever wrote about that. I mean, that's what punk started out as, and then it all got prettied up by the sort of like the NME brigade, you know, and the posers.
Yeah. It's like me and Art, that Right to Remain Silent. I did it on that 89 album.
Yeah.
Alright? Look at it there, it's fucking
The
come
criminal
in.
justice
And we
bill.
fucking foresee that.
That's
And I
right.
bet we don't get 1 ounce of fucking credit for it.
lads just having a good time. And, you know, we enjoy what we do, and that's what we do it for. You know, we don't do it for any other reason. And free beer. And free beer. And food. Because in this game, you can't afford to fill the pantry up.
I just think it's going to take one band like it did before, like the Sex Pistols or someone, to just to kickstart it all again. I don't think there'll ever be, nothing ever stays the same, but I still think there's a future for guitar bands and playing live and the music business in general. But it definitely needs something new. I mean, it's good for us that, you know, that people are getting into the old stuff, but it definitely just needs a kick up the arse again.
I've noticed one thing with lately over the last couple of years, they seem to be flirting with this laddish fucking image with the Oasis and the fucking Smash and these Animal Men. But
where have they got them ideas from?
Yeah, you know, fucking Ice with Coco and all that, and they're flirting with it. But at the end of the day, they're not saying any old. They're just all that like He-Man, drug culture. They're not saying anything in their lyrics, but they're flirting with the idea. Now you get some band coming along who starts really can have it. Starts saying a few. Say Oasis tomorrow started making like real strong lyrics and hard music. Well, you know, they would go ballistic because that's it. The time's fucking getting right for it. They're starting flirting with it. The image is right. The lads, blah blah blah, and you just need one group to come through. And so, I mean, like the Rejects and that. I mean, they could have a row, and do you know what I mean? They meant what they said. And they got back up and that sort of thing, you know. But it just, I think it could possibly happen. It could happen.
It's going to shake that one now, isn't it?
But at the end of the day, it comes back to the fucking idiots upstairs in those fucking little safe offices doing their stupid little fucking jobs. They ain't not going to let that happen. It'll have to happen through someone, you know, like Gary Bushell, who decides, fuck you lot, I'm a journalist, I'm going to fucking cause this scene whether you like it or not. And that's the only way it's going to happen.
The turn of the 90s saw a new crop of street bands. This, coupled with the rise of new record labels such as Hammer, Step One and Hell in a Void, has breathed a new lease of life into the music, this bit only on an obscure cult level. bands have now had to turn their attention to Europe and the United States, where the ideals of Oi have spread. Indeed, Europe and the States are now producing some quality bands of their own, and no longer have to rely solely on UK exports to satisfy their thirst for working class rock and roll. This puts the British working class band in the same position as the British working class man.
What I'm gonna be, trying to do the best I can. Told the world I'm not a job, but let's come and get a job. What I'm gonna be, trying to do the best I can. Told the world I'm not a job, but let's come and get a job. Work class does not mean thick, it's not something make me sick. Coppers come from German dust, leadership and black flags. Come with me, my friend, get this country back to bed. Equal to the right team, the fight for the bright lead. Work class man at me, trying to do the best I can. Show the world I'm not a young, but let's come and get a job. Work class man at me, trying to do the best I can. Show the world I'm not a young, but let's come and get a job. Normal man and see that thing. What you feel is what you see. Working life is satisfied, waiting for the tin tide. Sick of being uncolored, fighting through around, waiting for the right time to act and comprehend. Work my man at me, trying to do the best I can. Show the world I'm not a young, but let's come and get a job. Work my man at me, trying to do the best I can. Show the world I'm not a young, but let's come and get a job.
I don't know anyone in any sort of band, in any sort of music, is finding anywhere to play. There just doesn't seem to be the venues, and I don't know how they're attracting an audience now.
The trouble is, first and foremost, getting a gig. Period. I think if you're in any type of band now, unless you're going to be doing a rave playing dance music, or you're in a rock band playing the standard rock clubs in London, anything a little bit different, punk. If we could be a punk band or an oi band, you've got very few venues to choose from. You know, the Roby often does in Finsbury Park. That's one of few. The bigger places, it's going to be difficult to find a promoter with some money to pack it out. It's very rarely, once a year you get a gig at Brixton Academy. Occasionally you might get a name band at the Astoria. It's like the smaller places, like the Marquee. We could play somewhere like the Marquee, have a few hundred people in there. Great, there's no promoter that's prepared to do it. You know, and it's very difficult sometimes. We've tried to do everything ourselves, like, you know, fanzines. So you try to write articles for people so they can put it in. We've got to write the music, we've got to rehearse it, we've got to record it. It'd be nice to do it all ourselves, but bless you, but we can't do it. You know, people might say, well, why are you moaning? Why don't you do it yourself? That's the whole attitude of Oi. You can't physically do everything yourself. We need other people. Other people have got different skills. Some people are good at writing. They've got a fresh way of writing. Start up a fanzine. I'm a musician. I'll play the music. Someone else, if you put me up on a stage, I'll play anywhere, anytime. There's no one in England that will put us on. You know what I mean? And if they do, it's all got. The only trouble we have had is if a promoter who we don't know wants to put us on, and it is an Oi gig, you always end up that it's going to be, you know, keep it quiet with a venue, where the venue is. Don't advertise it in Melody Maker or NME, and that's doing us no favours. You're preaching to the converted. I want to play Oi music, but not just to an Oi crowd, to everyone, because I think that there's a lot of people who listen to rock, punk, heavy metal that are missing out. I mean, it's one of the most exciting forms of music there's ever been. You know what I mean? And they're missing out. But you'll never get it across to them unless you can get mainstream media on your side. And that's when you encounter a problem with the Oi label, not necessarily booking gigs to the media.
So what do you want to drink? I can tell you the whole story.
a venue the other night, and the toilets were leaking upstairs, and the dressing room was pissing through the fucking ceiling, right, on the floor, and this group, a big group, wading through piss on the fucking dressing room floor, right, and there's like a couple of sandwiches in the fucking corner, and they've got no beer.
Cold up
right,
sandwiches, no beer, no water.
Nothing.
No, nothing.
Right,
They're treated like shit.
And then they had to finish early, okay, so they could have a fucking disco after. And then I looked into this disco, and there was a fucking 100 morons sitting there listening to music, looking at the stage, as if something's going to fucking suddenly appear on stage. And I just thought, I just can't believe this fucking, what this fucking country's come to. It's just like, it's stupid.
It is
it's
crazy.
really lost it.
It's
and we
crazy.
was the leaders, and I don't know whether some of the music press still think we're the leaders. We're not. They're going to wake their ideas up because we've been overtaken.
Never knew, and none of the English bands realised in those days how big Oi was in the States. It was suppressed by the record companies, particularly our original record company, Secret Records. I think Watty will vouch for that and various things, because he was told that, and we were told that nothing was kicking in the States. And it's a lot of old bollocks. It was kicking big time in the States. And the English band should have gone out there then and ruled the roost. And but